Don't think it's gonna go. I don't think it's gonna go. Oh! Oh! Gotta get some more water. It's like I'm making a science experiment over here. Yeah, it's... She's pooched. Poor little soul. All right, so Dad couldn't wait for the camera to start, so he went ahead and slid underneath there. This is a 2011 Kia Soul. Let me back you up. There we go. Got this thing at the auction. And it was an in-op. So in-op means it is inoperable. It does not run. Pretty much the people at the auction, what they do is they put a battery in it, or not even a battery. They put a jump box on it, spin the engine over, and if it starts, it starts. If it doesn't, then it's freaking in-op. They're not going to spend a whole lot of time trying to figure out why. They just, oh, it cranks or it doesn't. This was labeled as an in-op. There's a million things that could cause a Kia to be inoperable because, well, it's a freaking Kia. Number one would be the timing belt inside here, because people always forget to check these, because who checks timing belts? So looked at that, and clearly not the timing belt. This one's actually had it replaced. This car has about 113,000 miles on it. Baby for a little Kia Soul, right? So the miles, well, it was due for its timing belt, and they did it. Now, inside here is a mess of... Does anybody know what these are? Hold on. Somebody tell me what these things are. There's a bunch of them in here. They're just little faces. I don't know if this is for... Oh, doggy. I don't know if this is for a game or what. I'm keeping the doggy on me. Anyway, I'm losing track here. So the car was inoperable, does not start. And here we go. Spun the car over, as you saw. We did get it to crank up. The head gasket is toast. It is low compression across 2 cylinders. It will run. It just runs like crap. So we're going to remedy this real quick. So this is, I think it's a, what, 2 liter? 2... 2.0. Yeah, this one's the 2 liter 4 dual overhead cam, timing belt. And over here in the floor, we have a new, I don't know, maybe this is like Toyota's dual overhead cam, because Toyota uses a single cam gear but has 2 camshafts, and it runs off like a, the 2 cams are connected. I don't know exactly how these work. This is the first time digging into a Kia Soul. But anyway, the car was about $1,000 at the auction. The motor was $1,400. So there's going to be around $2,700 tied up in this car to get it running again. But the body's really nice on it, and the interior is pretty nice. Needs to be clean. Tires are good on it. It just had registration and inspection on it, or registration and all that stuff on it up until the motor died, literally like a month ago. So, you know, in theory, we'll stab a motor in it, make it a running car. And this is not going to be like a how-to on replacing the engine, because I don't have the time for that. This is just going to be, hey, watch us yank this thing out, stab another one in it, do a bunch of majestical stuff, and then it'll work. So
I think we're gonna put the soul back into it.
yeah, put the
That's funny.
soul back into
I got fun now.
it. But it's got new spark plug wires on it. Like I said, it had a timing belt. It's got new plugs in it. It had an oil change. Something caused it to run hot though and blow the head gasket. This is normally how that works. So it could have had a failing water pump. Could have a bad radiator, a bad thermostat. I've even seen heater cores clog and cause that issue. We really don't know. What we do know is that we're putting an engine in it. So that's... Oh, and you take the front end off of a Kia to put an engine. Not all Kias, but this Kia, because it's tucked so far underneath there. It's pretty easy just to throw it on jack stands, wipe the front end off, and pull the engine right out the front. So that's what we're gonna do. As you can see, the front end is off the car. Motor and trans, the torque converter bolts are out. There's only a couple bell housing bolts holding the whole unit together. Most of the wiring harness is off the engine side of things, and it's about ready to come in here, grab it, and yank it out. As we mentioned, pulling it out the front is one of the easiest ways to get one of these out. We do have a lift, so you can drop the entire cradle out the bottom. Hold on a second. So you can drop the entire cradle out the bottom if you want. We did not elect to go that route though. So here it is. Once again, this one, blown head gasket. It was toasted, run super hot, and in my experience with these little Kias, it normally warps the head. By the time you're looking at taking the head off, having it machined, checking everything out, you could just go ahead and get another motor. And like I mentioned, that is what we elected to do. So it is clean and power washed, all nice and shiny. This motor has right at 120,000 on it. We're gonna pull the timing belt cover to check to see if it's had a belt put in it. I'm hoping it has, because you should do those, between the 80 and 120,000 mile mark. Anywhere in that range, you should have had one done. A lot of times they don't put the stickers on the cover though. They put them on the car body somewhere under the hood, so I do not know. There's no history. So I will pull the cover, check it. If it needs a belt, we'll go ahead and put a belt or a timing kit in it. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't though, so this can go quicker. But yeah, there's your Kia with the engine out, and I'm still over here finishing up the timing on the Accord after I got the wrong chain kit for it. So anyway, moving on. Back with the Kia Soul. So the new engine is installed. Dad got the front clip put back on it yesterday. It's pretty much ready to start, except for the fact that the washer that goes behind the harmonic balancer shattered into a bunch of pieces. And it did that when we took it off. Now on the junk engine, the used engine that came out of it, it did the exact same thing. When we took the harmonic balancer off, the washer spacer that was behind it was also busted. And so we had to order one. We had to order it from Kia Hyundai. So that should be here tomorrow, and then we can start it. So it looks like we've got less than $2,000 in this car. Right there at it, and this will be running and driving again with good miles. But get this, so while this one is here getting worked on, found this one. The engine's got a little rattle to it. We're gonna flush it out. This is a newer one, in case you can't tell. It's got the facelifted bumper and headlights in it. Also has the GDI timing chain engine in it instead of the belt. This one is a 2014 flavor, or 15. And so what we're gonna do is the old flusher out trick. Instead of using a motor flush, you use kerosene or diesel diesel fuel. Put about a quart's worth in the engine, even if it's full on oil. Go ahead and put it in there. Let it run for about 10 minutes. Shut it off. Drain all the snot out of it, and then refill it. And we go with a thicker oil. So this thing called for a 520 from the factory. It's probably already sludging up in there. It seems to happen. So we're gonna go to like a 1030 probably, and go from there. So Dad's back, got his oil he's gonna put in it.
And we're not antifreeze.
Not antifreeze, he says. It's a diesel fuel. I cannot say diesel fuel this morning.
Diesel fuel.
Just like that.
That should be enough.
And then we'll just let it sit here and run, and it'll knock all the gunk loose in the engine.
Jason, right on this jug so I don't pour it.
And I'm gonna ride on that jug.
Right on.
Guess it doesn't need an engine. How about that?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, we're underneath the gray Kia, whatever color this one is. And we're draining the oil. We put some diesel fuel in it, you saw, to help break loose some of this.
I'll let you plug it off. That way I don't get my hand against it.
Okay. And we're draining it out. It is pretty nasty in here. Super thin. And I'm wondering, nah, it doesn't smell like gasoline. These GDI motors, the high pressure pump can go bad on them and leak fuel into the engine and cause this to happen. But I don't think that's the case with this one. I think it's just some thin oil. So like I said, we're gonna go up to a little bit thicker weight. And there's Jack coming in the Jaguar. So let's finish up on this. Fired the Kia up with its new engine in it. And Dad are gonna carry it and grab us some lunch. So let's go see how she does. Well, we did make it far. We got a check engine light. And she's skipping pretty bad. So let's see what's up. Oh yeah. I'm not even doing that. Back on the road again in the Kia Soul. We had water down around the number 4 spark plug. This motor that we got, is used. I bet it sat outside and got some nasty water down around the boot. So all that's clean now. So back on our way. She's cruising pretty nice. We got her wound up to about 62 miles an hour. We're gonna go grab us some lunch at the Jimmy John's. I do have a shake in this steering wheel, so we've either got an out of balance tire or maybe a flat spot. Not really sure yet. We're just focused on the digital stuff right now, making sure she's gonna survive. And that rattle on the back is our dealer plate. It's got a magnet on it, and it's just stuck to the hatch, and it's rattling. But so far, so good. So this is where I would park my Kia Soul if I had one. So the last thing you saw was us driving it down the road, and that thing is fixed and ready to go. Let me turn this around. Okay, so that thing is fixed, ready to go. It went through detail Friday. It's now the next week after Memorial Day weekend. That thing is on the lot, so if I make it over there sometime today, I'll throw some pictures of it in there so you can see how clean and pretty that thing turned out. It's running good. It's ready to rock and roll. I've got another one on the way that came from the same auction. It was I think like a $600 win or something. Also an in-op. It's Kia. I think it's a Rento, maybe, something like that. But we're probably going to be putting a motor in that one too, since it's a Kia and it's in-op. But I did want to take a minute. I'm probably not going to film this one, but this, if you recognize this is the same Jeep from about a 2-year-old video where we bought this thing, fixed it, and sold it. The guy's had it this entire time, been driving it. It drives good and everything, but he ended up, the engine was leaking coolant and he was putting water in it. This one also froze up and locked up over the winter, just like my sister's did. We were able to save both of them, but this one did not run good afterwards. And we told him it needed some other repairs. He, and then kept on driving it. It ended up blowing the head gasket. And we ran into this when we drained the coolant to fix the, I don't know if you can see that, all that gooey, shiny stuff, that's copper seal to fix blown head gaskets and coolant leaks. I did not put that in the system, but there was a bunch of it in the system when we drained it to replace the freeze plugs that it pushed out. So somebody already knew something was wrong and tried to fix it with that. That doesn't fix it. It's also got a brand new water pump on it and a new thermostat housing. The radiator is also new in it. I can't remember. I think we actually did the radiator in it. But once again, all those things, it's too late. I mean, you've already done the damage. So it's getting a motor. So the 4-liter Ford Eater is in here for a loan block. Probably just going to go with the used engine because it's cheaper that way. You can still buy these motors brand new at O'Reilly's. They can order them for you. I put one in for a customer once again, probably about 5 or 6 years ago, in a Wrangler dangler. It was a straight drive. It was a Sahara edition. I think those were TJs. Not good on the Wrangler nomenclature. But anyway, put one in for a customer. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $2,000 and some change back then. But this guy's going to go for a used engine. These are pretty good motors. A lot of times you can find them in the junkyard. I'm not going to say with decent miles, because these motors are known to go 500,000 without any failure. So it's probably going to have the same amount of miles as this one does, which I think this one is now at... yeah, this one's over 250,000, so the motor will probably be close to that, if not over, unfortunately, but it's cheap. So that's what we're gonna do. So the Kia Soul, it worked out. Everything was fine. I thank you for watching that. Like I said, I'll try to throw some pictures in here of that thing completed, but I gotta move on to a Jeep, and I guess that's it. Thank you all for watching. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll catch you in the next one, folks. Thanks for watching.